Okay, hi everyone. This is a really impromptu, nothing fancy. Just I felt I wanted to come on here and share this with you about letting go. And I have really been, this has been shown to me through my whole journey about trust and about letting go. And it constantly reminds me over and over again what that is and what that means. And every time I find myself trying to pick up the grocery bags, imagine trying to hold on to grocery bags for a long time, right? Trying to hold on to weight, or trying to hold on to fix it because you don't want it to fall or you don't want it to crumble. And after a while, if you could picture that, after a while, those bags seem very, very heavy, right? Those bags become very, very heavy, and it becomes too much for you to carry. And just through my whole life, as I've shared with you, um, in carrying all of that really was so much anxiety, so much worry, so much fear. Looking back, with carrying those external beliefs that I took in, um, landed me in the hospital, with a triple bypass, dumping a lot of things in my body, thinking that if I have to make things work, or I have to do this. So a lot of that was all of it was fear, all of it was anxiety. And on my journey 5 years ago, when I went on the journey of awakening and healing, I really don't know what you call it. Because most people call it an awakening, a divine awakening. It definitely was a divine awakening. And one of the main things that God shared with me was let go. And I was not adapted to, that wasn't on my radar for many, many years, as a way of life, was to let go. My belief of letting go was, if I had let go, then who's going to save me? Or if I let go, then how is it going to get fixed? Or if I let go, then what will happen then? I can't let go, so I have to fix it myself. Like I said, I definitely know that was definitely a learned behavior, looking back. And there was also another thing that was placed in me that I had the amazing opportunity and gift to have, and that was this knowing that I tapped into, that would not leave. It just would not shake. And in that knowing, there was a knowing that I had, and then there was also a level of, now I need you to let go. And in doing that, it was challenging for me, because it was a new level of consciousness that I was shifting into. And every time I found myself trying to pick it back up again, pick back up the fear, pick back up the well, I got it, pick back up the, but what if this happened? I'll lose control. But what if this happened? They need me. But what if this happens? I can't. And what if all of these doubts and worries and heaviness that I was carrying, that I was carrying, every time I was faced with that, I found myself just carrying those bags again, and just over time, it just became too heavy. It became too heavy to the point where I was willing to drop the bags and not care what it looked like. I was willing to drop the bags and not care what it looked like, because I recognized that my fear, the fear in my mind, was really tricking me. The fear in my mind had me thinking that I had to do all these things, these beliefs, that I had to do all these things to uphold, to keep. And I was killing myself in a sense of, I was killing myself. I was harming myself, and not even really aware that I was causing my own resistance, and not only just causing my own resistance, but I really was just causing unnecessary heaviness, weight, stress, anxiety, fear. And so on the path, when I fully surrendered, and when I fully let go, and didn't care what it looked like, didn't care about the outcome, I was more about releasing the weight that I was carrying. I was more about releasing the fear. I was more about releasing that, and I didn't care. When I did that, I didn't know that I would receive tangible, physical things that happened in my life that just came into my lap. It just literally came in, just like it was just given to me, like, here it is. And although I was very, very grateful, there was still a part of me that wasn't even attached to those things. Now, I will admit, I had a struggle with, oh my God, like, I've never had this amount of money, this much money before. So how do I let this go? Like, just thinking of all the scenarios, and, being a mom, I can't, I can't let this go. I have to, hold on to this. I have to, hold on to this, because I may not get it again, right? There goes that resistance. There goes that fear. There goes that control. I'm even also just reminded of having children and giving birth to children, and just that allowing your body to flow, because your body knows what to do when you're giving birth versus when you are pushing, when you're not supposed to push. But my story, I was pushing when I wasn't supposed to push, but I was pushing because I was afraid. I was nervous. I was scared. I was afraid, and I ended up tearing more than I actually really needed to, instead of allowing my body to release it. And so it can be scary. I'm not doubting that it can't, letting go is not a challenge to the mind, or a challenge to your usual functioning. I don't know if you've functioned. I have functioned under anxiety. I have functioned under fear. I have functioned under this perspective of thinking I was losing, so I needed to hold on to things. I was functioning under that, and just functioning, and it did so much physical damage, to my, to myself, so much physical harm that I did on myself, or I inflicted on myself, just thinking I had to survive. Just these thoughts that you have to that you think that I thought I had to do, that you might think you have to do. And when I had my divine awakening, when everything broke in my life that I was trying to fix and control, that was when I found the true meaning of, one, the truth of your knowing, which is God. That's something that you have in you, that you know. And then there's the beliefs, there's the fear that I was wrestling with. So I had the knowing, but then I had the fear and the control of trying to fix everything, hold up everything. The belief of, if you don't do it, then it won't happen. Just having different perceptions of looking at someone else's example of things that happen in their life, and that fear that's set in me. It's like, no, I can't allow this to happen in my life. I'm determined. It was from that perspective and from that nature. And here's another thing. I would advise anybody who is looking at someone's reel on social media, child, looking at someone's reel is not their REAL life. Looking at someone's REEL isn't their REAL in real life. Being mindful of that. Even myself, when I post things, there are moments I do my best to post things that are of truth, that I feel led to share. But even in my human nature, I have moments where I cry. Just cried today. I have moments where I get frustrated. I was just frustrated this morning. So there's that part that I wrestle with. And even like the greatest gurus that you see on social media, or that you might see on YouTube, that level of imperfection, or what we view as flawed, and just being mindful of that. And so I don't know, just overall, what I have learned and found to be true over and over again, time and time again, that one, what God spoke to me, what God speaks to you, what God places in you and in all of us, is a knowing. It's a knowing. And being able to allow that knowing to unfold is a level of trust. And trust meaning surrendering, trust meaning letting all that heaviness go, right? Letting all that heaviness go, releasing it. I give myself permission to release any of that heaviness, and I choose to let it go, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And it might take a religious thing, a practice to do, or a level of mindfulness, a level of pausing, right? This is something that is true. And another thing I want to say is, you being you, just one thing that I have also learned in letting go, and when things were just given to me and placed in my lap, I didn't have to pry them down. Like, it was given to me. And that was so my first time ever experiencing that, because I had been so accustomed and so used to stress, anxiety, pounding at the pavement, scraping the walls down, losing out on sleep, numbing in food, so much worry, so much anxiety, raising babies, trying to just uphold all of this stuff that we think we have to uphold, and I thought that I had to uphold. Even our children, I think about them, like when they were just expressing to me their situation, and the fear in me wanted to make it all better, wanted to fix it, just want to fix it right then, and I was challenged with that. So as I found myself trying to fix it, it was as though God was saying, as I found myself trying to fix it, I found myself coming across more aggravation, more frustration, more stress, and more anxiety, and more monkey mind. How the Buddhists say, the monkey mind, just so much of that. And I said, you know what? I release and I let it go. I had to let it go. I had to let it go for myself, for my well-being, and because it's truth. It's truth. It's, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It's truth. It's truth. It's truth. When you sit with oneself and you're able to examine what heaviness, what am I trying to control? What fear am I carrying? What doubts, what worries? What's all this heavy stuff? What's the self-sabotaging? What scenarios am I coming up with? How am I using my past experiences, my past pains, my past, how am I using that as my forefront to keep worrying, to keep living in fear, to keep being doubtful, to keep living in anxiety? I released them, and I released the control, because in truth, and I'll say this over and over again, fear will have you believing that you are in control, because it's like a survival mode. So like your mind gets tricked when you act upon those survival traits, right? If I don't, right? That's what that is. I'll survive. And our ancestors have done an amazing job at that. That's what they needed to stay alive, right? And we have that, right? We have that same part of our brain, fortunately, and I'm not gonna say unfortunately, but fortunately we have that, because we need that to be able to survive. We need that, if we're in danger, see a tiger coming this way, we need that part of our brain to escape, right? Or anything, if you're in a crisis, or a dire situation, right? Or you instantly have to use your brain to react. But for me, it was so much on an overdrive, and because of what our ancestors went through, right? And just simply how our brain, that part of our brain is made. It's made for survival. So I have found myself trying to control, trying to fix, and it was too heavy. It was too heavy to carry. And it was time for me to let it go. And I became so grateful. I remember just trying to make, you try to do your best to keep a smile in your children's face no matter what. Just to try to keep and uphold that. I had to let that go. I had to let that go. That was too much stress, too much worry on me to try to fix. It was to try to fix, right? To try to fix. It puts more stress on your body, more worry on your body. I remember just trying to fix, my loved ones, and just trying to fix it for them, trying to carry that stuff for them. And can't. Now, I can show compassion, but we're not wired to carry that stuff. We're just not. We're not wired to carry that stuff. I have learned that time and time again, that I am not wired to carry that stuff. And that's what I'm just very, very mindful of that. So just very quick, just take a good deep breath. The sun is shining really pretty back there. But just taking a deep breath. And one more time, inhale in and exhale. And simply saying, I give myself the permission to release the control, any heaviness, worry, fear, doubt, restrictions, past experiences that I try to bring up in the forefront, to not live a life of letting go. I let go of that. I let go of it. I let go of it. I let it go. And just simply, I felt that, just simply energetically see yourself letting it go, or feel yourself letting it go. Let it go. Because guess what? You don't have to worry about when you let it go. You just let it go. Remember when I said earlier, when you let it go, just do that. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the, well, I let go, now can I? No, don't worry about that. Just fully surrendering and fully letting go. Just for the simple fact that letting that go, you're letting go of the control, which is fear. You're letting go of the anxiety. You're letting go of the stress. You're letting go of the worry. You're letting go of the doubt. You're letting the stuff that's too heavy. Right? Right? That's what you see the scar here. You know, that's it. That was the surgery that I had. You know, just too much wear and tear and heaviness on the body. Right? And you don't have to necessarily have heart surgery like I did, you know, carrying things, but we're not wired to carry it. There are so many instances in my life whereby I thought there was a valid reason to carry it, a valid reason why I should worry about it, why I should, you know, take control over it, why I should, you know. Being mindful over your actions as well, you know, being mindful over your actions and making sure that you're just pausing, you know, just a level of pausing. That's all it is. A level of pausing and saying the actions or inaction, right? The actions that I take, is this a fear or worry, or the actions that I take or inactions that I'm choosing to take, is it coming from a place of trust, knowing? So I hope that helps. Yeah, hope it helps. 12-month program I'm also offering. If you're interested in working with me and how to release the internal weight, I'll send you more information about that, how to heal the internal weight. That's about it. You can hit me up on my DM if that interests you. You guys know how to reach me, but yep, that's about it. Bye.